I found this at an antique store, and I can't figure out what it's for. We thought maybe some kind of farm equipment, but someone said it's a part of an old fireplace spit, or an antique ice block carrier, like an ice tongs. Does anyone know what this thing is actually used for? It's a step for a carriage. Similar to this, it was mounted onto horse-drawn carriages, buggies, or wagons to aid passengers in climbing into high carriage bodies. These steps commonly feature textured surfaces for traction and sometimes include decorative elements. What is this rusted metal box found in an old shed? It's quite heavy. It has 4 round things inside, and it has a dial on the side. It looks vintage from the early 1920s, as it came from an old movie theater in the 1920s. I did 3 Google searches and got 3 different things. Any helpful information would be needed. Thanks for any assistance. It's a very old DC power supply for theater lamps. The glass bulbs are what's known as Tunger bulb rectifiers, and are filled with argon gas and are under slight pressure. But why would theater lighting require DC? It's to power a carbon arc light. Carbon arc lamps work by drawing an electric arc between 2 electrodes that are slightly separated. Once there's an arc, the electrodes can be drawn farther apart too. DC is a constant power. If the power crossed 0 volts, like AC does, the arc would disappear. What is this silver hanger thingy? My mom bought this at Goodwill, and we have no idea what it is. It's about the height of an average palm, and it has no logos or text, etc. We have been trying to figure this out for weeks. Does anybody have any ideas what this is for? It's a vintage metal stand base holder for a glass bowl and spoon, made in France around the 1950s. A bowl goes on the base, and the cutlery hangs from the extension above. What is this thing I found in my parents' stuff? Technically, it says what it is: a baby seat deflector, Bunny Bear, Everett, Massachusetts. But what on earth is a baby seat deflector? Is it missing parts? How does it work? Google confirms, offering no further explanation. Has anyone seen such a thing or knows its purpose? It's a vintage potty chair squirt deflector. A splash guard that goes on the front of baby toilets to deflect the splashback. Hope they didn't use it to scoop coffee. Its primary function is to block urine from spraying upward or outward, helping to keep clothing and the surrounding area clean. They are essential for training young boys, preventing messes during the transition from a potty chair to an adult toilet. What is this brass thing I found at a flea market in Denmark? The holes are very small, and they don't align at the top and middle part. I'm guessing it's an incense stick holder. You can put 3 incense sticks at once in it, and they lean out away from each other. I'm definitely curious if someone knows its intended use. It's a mid-century candle holder, designed by Erik Jorgensen in the 1960s. It just uses skinny candles like in this Etsy listing. There was a trend of making candlesticks that used very, very thin and very tall candles, especially in Denmark. They look pretty cool when they're set up and lit, but they also look like they'd burn through candles fast. What are these ornate carved painted wood handles? This is very old, approximately 2 feet long, with 4 through holes and a slightly ergonomic shape like a handle. Any info on this is greatly appreciated. These are the posts from an antique Sicilian traditional market cart. The type of posts you see on this cart, and there are 6 of them with carved heads. This is a market cart originating from the city of Taormina in the province of Messina, Sicily, from the latter half of the 1800s. They were of popular use to haul loads of produce, wine, wood, and passengers prior to the use of bicycles, taxis, and trucks. I noticed the cartwheel motif on your stave, and it is visible several times on the far right of your first picture. The holes in the back of yours would be to nail in the planks, and the weird rings on the neck would be to tie cords to keep the load in the cart. I've been told it might be an old tool for split rim wheels, but it says coupling on one part. It's about 6 inches by 5 inches. It weighs maybe 1 to 2 pounds, give or take, and the ball in the photo is maybe 3/4 of an inch in diameter. The knob turns to either open or close the jaws, and the widest it opens before completely separating is 6.5 inches from inside to inside. Does anybody know what this is? It's a vintage removable tow hitch, primarily utilized in the 1930s and 1940s for commercial towing and dispatch services, and commonly used for vintage Indian motorcycle dispatch vehicles, Harley-Davidson Survey cars, or other 3-wheeled motorcycles. It was engineered to allow a single mechanic to tow a motorcycle, eliminating the need for 2 people during transportation. Does anyone know the name of this tool? We found it, and we have no idea what it's for. It measures approximately 25 by 8 by 6.5 inches, made of metal with no maker's mark. According to Google, it's possibly an old automobile battery lifting tool. I would be interested to know its use and how old it might be. It's a 19th century fire hose nozzle holder, made by the Samuel Eastman and Company in the 1890s. This holder hooks onto a ladder, and the nozzle is then strapped into place. The leather strap and buckle are missing on top. It was patented on August 8, 1899, by Cyrus R. Robinson of East Concord, New Hampshire. What is this old farm equipment used for? We found this while tearing down a barn, and we have no clue what it is. It measures approximately 22 inches at the widest, and 40 inches tall, with no maker's mark or any text. Any idea what this may be? This item is an antique cast iron double harpoon hay fork, historically used for lifting and transporting loose hay from wagons into barn lofts. It features 2 barbed spear-like prongs that jab into hay, with locking levers that expand the barbs to securely hold and transport the load via a trolley system. It was patented on July 13, 1909, by Philip A. Myers of Ashland, Ohio. What is this cylindrical object found in a sandy area near the Emigrant Trail in Nevada? I was doing some metal detecting on a private property and came across this about a foot deep in the dirt. This is about 9 inches long, somewhat heavy, possibly 2 to 3 pounds, with a pointed bottom, and I can't tell if it's cast or forged. Any ideas? Please tell us down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.